Hey, hi, how are you? Oh, and Happy New Year. Last January, about a year ago, I made a video about the possibility of AI taking jobs away from safety professionals. Long story short, I wasn't overly concerned about the possibility of diminishing safety jobs, at which point I had a few reasons why, and I'll mention those in a sec. But serious though, big but here, I've changed my mind though, a little bit. Well, maybe more than a little bit. So let's talk about it. The first point I made last year was that AI could do a good, decent job of creating a template, a start for a safe work procedure. In fact, it didn't do a bad job with the safe work procedure for using a stepladder, but it needed work. Now, if you're curious, I'll leave a video link in the description and keep your eye up in this corner and maybe one will show up. I then chose to crank it up a notch, give it something a little bit more difficult. I asked it to write a safe work procedure for entering a steel tank, but in British Columbia, Canada. And I did that, well, I did it for a reason. And to be honest, it didn't complete the job. And honestly, I also set it up. But I'll allude to why I did that in a bit. But now, things have changed. Things have really changed. And this change shouldn't surprise anyone. Not at all. Because the AI is learning. Isn't that what the AI is supposed to do? It's supposed to learn. So that's number one. The AI is learning. And it's doing a pretty good job. So here's the thing. I redid that same request that I did a year ago, where it made the mistake. And it's different now. It's almost as though it's been watching some of my videos. It created a safe work procedure, but it did it in outline fashion as well. Instead of getting granular and convoluted with things like required training for tasks, what it did is it referenced training and referenced safe work practices. But the bigger surprise is this. Well, look, if you have a look at this video up here, you'll see what it's done. It's outlined the requirements for a good safe work procedure, which in this case is a confined space entry plan. But this time what it's done is it's noted the need for involving certified hygienists or professional engineers. Now, the AI, ChatGPT in this case, calls them safety engineers. And so I'm making that safe assumption. But now, it's not perfect. In fact, I'm a little hurt. I'm a little crushed that it left out CRSPs, Canadian Registered Safety Professionals, unless it's lumped us in with professional engineers, which in that case, AI, you're going to head for a whole world of hurt because you're going to offend a whole pile of professional engineers. Anyway, this is the exact issue I pointed out a year ago, where the AI did up a good plan. And to a certain extent, it lacks some things. But one of the major flaws is it forgot that any confined space entry process or plan in British Columbia has to be approved by either a professional engineer, a certified industrial hygienist, or a Canadian registered safety professional. But in this case, this is what I mean. It's appeared that the AI has learned. Now, not sure what pointed it in the right direction.
Maybe it was you.
Yeah, maybe it was me. But anyway, that was the first point. Now, the second point, and the issue I made a year ago, was around mobility. I stated in that previous video that I doubt that the AI could be able to navigate around a worksite unless somebody was carrying around a computer or something. Well, in my opinion, that's changed a bit, okay? I want to introduce you to Atlas. Atlas is a creation from Boston Dynamics. And in fact, their mission statement is, their mission is to imagine and create exceptional robots that will enrich people's lives. Now, if you look here, this what's done here is Atlas can easily navigate quite a few obstacles, all while carrying a big bag of tools. Impressive, huh? So I guess moving around a construction site isn't really going to be a challenge, is it? Now, Boston Dynamics also has a dog robot, Spot, and Spot's featured on their website. And in fact, it's part of their safety and security feature set. I'll leave a link way down in this description for you to check out. Here's the hint. I want you to finish watching my video first. Another point to look at is this. I want you to meet Optimus Gen 2, which is to say Generation 2. The newest version was recently introduced just before Christmas of 2023 And yes, it's a Tesla robot. It's a Tesla creation. It's a Musk creation. Now, stick with me here. I'm going to give you pause to ponder in a little bit, and I'll talk more about it towards the end. But if you look, their upgrades have gone, well, a long way from previous models. There's more of an ability to walk around, more mobility. It's fully mobile, but it also has tactile function. Yes, look, it can handle eggs. Now, yes, granted, these eggs might be hard boiled, but this is impressive nonetheless. Now, there's more to think about here. Let's look at a few scenarios. Entertain me, if you will. Let's consider a few possibilities in our safety realm. Let's talk first about the typical worksite or workplace inspection. You know, that observational tour of the working area, taking note of different workplace elements and safety concerns. Now, I'm not minimizing the duty of worksite inspections or the different tasks that go into them. Not at all. They do take a bit, and they're very important for the safety process to be successful in your workplace. But let's think about this. If all of these parameters were programmed into the robot and the AI learned the principles, could that not be offloaded onto the AI and one of its ambulatory sidekicks like Atlas or Optimus? I'll get that right yet. Sorry, Boston Dynamics, but we can't let Spot do it. Somebody's going to trip over Spot or kick Spot or something. Now, unless, of course, you put a backup beeper on them. Just a thought. But let's go a bit deeper here. Let's just crank it up one more notch. Let's talk about something a bit more complex in a more complex setting. Let's say something to do with occupational hygiene. That idea of measuring the working environment around the worker and noting what the worker is being exposed to. What if the unit, the robot, Atlas or Optimus, what if they were outfitted with sensors and other telemetry components? Could they not be deployed into the worksite and perform anything from, say, indoor air quality tests, lighting assessments, noise measurements, and other hazardous materials testing? I mean, the list is pretty long here. Even ergonomic assessments could be done with the AI analyzing how the person is moving or positioned or interacting with equipment and tools they're using. Really and truthfully, this may come as a shock, but some of this is already being done with the AI analyzing video of the workers taken in real time and then spitting out some results. Now, the other possibility here is a lot of those results could be done with the computer on board the robot itself, or if need be, transmitted to its big brother AI or whatever, and then those results used in real time to correct hazards. Or they could be added to a report that the AI could churn out in a matter of minutes. Let's be serious. Let's stop here for a second. ChatGPT is already being used to write some legal briefs. Not taking anything away from you lawyers, but it's already being used for that. So is it such a stretch for an occupational hygiene report? As it is, in some cases, when we're doing this occupational hygiene work, we'll have to wait, depending on lab time, 24 hours, maybe more, for the results. And then those results usually need to be interpreted by professionals and then compared to existing exposure levels and different tables to generate that report. All of this usually done by human hands. So once again, think about this. We're not just cutting into the safety professional. We're also looking at eliminating subject matter experts, lab techs, lab technicians, in some areas. Not everyone, but some for now. I have a third scenario, but you're just going to have to stick around for a little bit more. I want to give pause for a bit and take a different tack. I want to move in a different direction. Let's talk about the benefits here with AI and robots. I mean, let's look at it. Look at it from a pure business standpoint. There is no need for rest. There's almost limitless billable hours. There's certainly no sick time or vacation requirements, aside, of course, from maybe some downtime for service and repairs. There's no mental health issues. You won't catch your robot getting hung up on their pronouns, will you? Before you run off wondering what you should do next or what your next career move is going to be or scrambling to fix your CV and resume, there's still a ray or two of hope I want you to think about. The AI still can't do a few things yet. They really likely can't analyze the safety culture. And I'll tell you why. And they certainly can't put in place steps and processes to improve an ailing safety culture. Part of it is this, that the AI is still trying to figure out the human condition. It can be programmed for cause and effect, but can it learn about emotions? Can it learn that ability to understand why human behavior is what it is? As I said, AI can't take into account the human condition. I'm talking about issues that are going on with workers outside of work that may affect how they behave at work or how they affect the social dynamics within the mix of the job. Even things like non-job related conversation is likely going to confuse the AI. It's always present in normal work settings. In other words, it may take the AI quite some time before it can navigate the intricacies of human interaction. The AI will likely soon be able to judge optimal job performance when observing us, but will it be able to take into account what's going on, the context, the human context? There's going to be a certain amount of learning before it can figure out the whys and the wherefores of that suboptimal performance. Things like fatigue because there's a new baby at home. Or it's Christmas season and everybody's distracted, and why would that be? Things like that may eventually be learned, but really, when you get right down to it, I miss social cues. Let's be certain that the AI is going to miss a few for quite some time. And it's going to take some considerable time for it to understand that human context around even things as complex as risk management. So you as the safety professional need to focus on these things, these soft skills, that interaction with the workers in your workplace, in addition to building that technical knowledge that you're working on. Because this will help you to be a more important asset than the Tin Woodsman of the 21st century.
There's more, isn't there?
Oh, yes. That other frightening thought I had for you. Well, you've made it this far, so strap in. Here's another thought, that third scenario for us safety professionals. Elon Musk has already stated that he hopes to sell these Optimus robots of his for $20,000 US a piece.
What? No, that's crazy.
But he's also said he's hoping for sales that'll stretch into the millions. In fact, he's even speculated a demand stretching into billions. I don't know where we're going to put them all. So let's consider this, an organization that can afford to purchase a few of these robots along with maybe a couple of these Tesla self-driving vehicles. Could that organization not contract out a certain amount of limited safety services like inspections I'm thinking indoor air quality testing, hazardous materials management? Could these robots with the Tesla vehicles not be deployed anywhere in most cities for that matter? Or let's look at the latest Tesla truck. That is when it's not getting stuck. That means, yes, these robots could even go out into remote areas, construction and mining sites, oil rigs, etc. I mean, let's think about this. Organizations that have the financial wherewithal. I mean, there's several large occupational firms, law firms in Canada, and I'm not going to mention any names because after all, they're lawyers, but I'm sure that they could easily make such an investment and have the whole package, safety consultation and investigator, right up to the trial and defense lawyer gig. But seriously, let's consider this for a second. The notion of small boutique safety consulting firms, I was one once. They could easily go by the wayside. They could start to disappear. Even medium to large law firms, safety firms, could get absorbed and swallowed up. But conversely, though, a small outfit with backing, reasonable knowledge, and some planning could also grow to be one of these large, big firms by deploying robots and leveraging AI. And Musk knows all of this already. He also knows that it's going to be 5 to 10 years out before Optimus is fully available for sale. Me, I'm going with 5 because I've already seen what happens in a year. Let's check back in a year and let's see where things sit. Now, if you want to know more about safety culture, what you can do is watch this video series up here. It's a series of live streams that I'm still working on. And you know what you need to do? If you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button below and you'll get notified whenever there's a live stream talking about safety culture, for instance. But on that note, let me leave you with this. Let's consider this. It'll be a long time before a robot can demonstrate safety leadership, provoking safety in others. Being that safety leader that can provoke safety in everyone by doing the right thing at the right time, regardless of who's watching, but also taking that opportunity to lead by example. And yes, also exercising compassion by understanding the condition of the workers around you and acting and reacting accordingly. Okay? Just some food for thought. Okay? Take care. Bye for now.